Good morning. We're starting lesson 11. We're really on the downhill side of this class. This week's lesson involves the question of leadership. The assignment is one where you're going to once again create what we call an application paper. You're going to solve a very practical problem in the context of the research that has been presented to you in the various chapters preceding, or actually including this week, including the issues on leadership. It's that issue of leadership that we want to focus on in this lesson. Keep in mind that creating an agenda we usually think of as a very straightforward activity. In this case, however, I think you'll see that as you think through the problem that Jill, the person who is the centerpiece of the case study, that she faces, it isn't just an agenda. It isn't just a perfunctory activity of, have a few things to talk about. What the person talks about and how they talk about those issues will make a big difference in the context of what will become her ability to lead this particular group. You'll notice in the last part of the assignment there is that notion, that note that you're supposed to connect this all to her ability to lead, which is the subject matter of this chapter. And by the way, material that could help explain that doesn't have to come just from this chapter. There are other lessons that we've discussed where there may also be issues of import here that could contribute to your understanding of what you've created as an agenda connecting to Jill's ability to lead, in this case, a group which maybe wants to become a team. Now, one of the points I just want to make is that, you can read the commentary. I hope you do. You'll notice a Dilbert comic strip there that we found when we were putting this course together. And I think that comic strip, if you haven't seen it yet, is indicative of the state of the study of leadership. Everybody has an idea about this. And what's interesting is that consultants, I used to be a consultant, consultants tend to write books about this as if they were truly expert. And really what you get are a lot of very interesting books. Sometimes what makes them interesting are the stories that the consultants tell or the writers tell. But in reality, there's no real consensus about what even the definition of leadership is. As a consequence, everybody seems to focus on a different part of that elephant that we always thought about, somebody with a blindfold on. Depending on which part of it you happen to touch, it tells you a whole different story about what it is that's behind that blindfold. So when you're reading this chapter and you're constructing your essay for this week, just be mindful of the difficulty that people who have studied this for a living have found in trying to describe what leadership is. What I'd like you to do is see if you can create an essay that connects that agenda to Jill's ability to lead throughout her subsequent activities with this group. Otherwise, folks, have a great week. I'll be available in the office on Saturday morning at 9:30 Eastern Time. Remember, you can call 518-729-4966. You call that number, I'll be there. Alternatively, you can write me at aja19@psu.edu. I prefer that you do not the Angel for this purpose, but the regular Penn State address that we use for other purposes. Otherwise, have a great week. Take care. Bye-bye.